of Where the Heart Is. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Thanks. Good to see you too.
Tell me about this film.
Well, I got
You obviously
this...
play a pregnant young
Yes.
woman in a trailer park
Right.
whose guy runs out on her as she runs into the Walmart.
Yeah. I just got the script, and it was just so different from everything else I had seen. It's kind of just this real mix between fantasy, this kind of fantastical fable kind of story where all these things happen with, you know, this prevailing moral in the end. And it was, but also a lot of realism too. And I just thought it would be really fun to make. And it's rare when you see a really well-meaning, you know, without being embarrassed about it, just, you know, let's have a nice message in our movie and not try and be cool and put in, you know, some pop culture references and shoot everyone up, you know.
But you like the script?
I loved it. It just seemed fun. And I always try and have a good time when I'm doing my work, because usually my work is my vacation too, because I'm in school during the year.
Let's talk about that.
So I always try and, you know, choose things that I think I'll enjoy and have, you know, real learning experiences from.
Did you look at this, though? I mean, some would say this is, I mean, you could think of Diary of Anne Frank, which was a reach, too. Right. I mean, obviously, when you think about it, no one can imagine those circumstances.
Right.
And you did that brilliantly on
Thank
stage.
you.
But here you are, as a young, soon-to-be mother, pregnant, poor, in the South, which is a quite far distance from a young woman who was born in Israel, grew up in Long Island, going to a major university.
Right. It is. It's very different, and
you ain't had no babies.
Yeah, I haven't had a baby yet. Yeah, it definitely was something completely different, and that's what excites me about doing things, because if you do the same thing over and over again, you're not going to learn anything or have any new experiences. So it was just really exciting to have the opportunity to do something I didn't think anyone would ever give me the chance to do, you know. Did
you set any demands in terms of what you wanted about this film, what you wanted to do and not do?
Yeah, I think there's a fine line between, you know, overly sentimental and you know, that right tone of just sweetness and goodness that's sincere and not sappy, you know. So that was, I think that was my main objective.
That you find the equilibrium between those two. Yeah,
and also not to take it too seriously, because it's a fantasy story. It's not, I mean, it's real problems, but a very unusual, I really think it's kind of Wizard of Oz-like course. You know, it's this girl on this, it's this girl, you know, trying to get home. She meets all these crazy characters along the way, has all these wild experiences, and, you know, she ends up understanding who her family is and why home is important.
Roll tape. Here's a clip from the film. Thanks. You've really never had acting lessons.
Yeah.
Ever.
No. But I
mean, you work with great directors, so it couldn't get better than that.
I mean, when you work with Luc Besson when you're 11 years old, I don't think there's much better acting lessons than that.
There's nobody at the University of what?
Yeah, I mean, I got to work with, you know, Gary Oldman and Jean Reno, and, you know, then Jack Nicholson and Goldie Hawn and Alan Alda and Susan Sarandon and Ashley Judd. I mean, that's my education, and I mean, that's like the best education you can have, is seeing people who are really working and doing excellent jobs, and rather than going to, you know, acting school.
And Sarandon insisted on you for a role?
It was, I mean, it was really, really nice, because I was having that was one of the films where they had a sex scene that I just thought was really uncalled for, unneeded in the script, didn't really show, you know, any progression for the character, and I thought could be inferred rather than, you know, visual.
The point was in what's in her head anyway.
Yeah, and Susan was really great. She, like, backed me up and was,
well, she basically said, no Portman, no Sarandon.
Yeah, it was really, I mean, it's the greatest feeling in the world when someone you respect that much and admire that much, you know, will stand up for you and you know, respect you in the same way.
Are you going to do The Seagull this summer?
Yeah. Not this summer, next summer.
Next summer,
yes.
Not this coming.
Because I'm doing episode 2 this summer, yeah.
Star Wars 2 is going to be this summer?
Yes.
How is Lucas to work with?
He's great. He's really, one of the kind of, I think the main criteria for when I know a director has a good, is when he has a real vision, like a visual for what the film is going to be like. And he brought me to his office when he first was asking me to do the film and showed me and explained to me and described to me what the film was going to look like. And when someone has that vision and then completes that, I think that's just amazing. I mean, directing is so difficult, and that's why it's so hard for me to see like my directors, you know, get trashed or whatever, because it's the hardest, one of the hardest jobs ever, I think. I mean, it's just so intense and so much work that, I mean, it's hard for someone to go spend an hour at the movie theater or 2 hours at the movie theater and then, you know, say bad things about what someone worked on for 6 months intensively.
But you also made a commitment to do 3 of these.
Yes.
So that'll take you into, what, 2000-something?
2002 or 3.
And The Seagull is going to be directed by Mike Nichols?
Yeah, directed by Mike Nichols.
And also Meryl's going to be in it?
Meryl Streep and Kevin Kline.
How good is this?
This is like, this came out of nowhere. I mean, I was just so pleased.
Good for you.
Thank
it's great
you.
to have you here.
So nice to be here.
Thank you. Natalie Portman, thank you for joining us. See you next time.